How are we looking? This wig was a success. I just really think that living simply is living happily. This is something so wonderful about doing the simplest things, you know? Guess who's back? What up, y'all? It's Jen again, back with another video. I want to get right into this video and kind of just talk about what's on my head right now, which is Klaiyi hair. I'm gonna plug them. I told myself I was gonna start wearing wigs more and give myself a break from wearing braids. So this was the brand that I came across first on Instagram. And I said, why not? I found a color combo that I liked. We bought her, we have her, and here she is. Here she is. And I like her. I like her a lot. I was kind of nervous about doing a lighter brown because I typically do go for the darker colors, black or a really dark brown like 1B. But I love it, honestly. It came in this packaging. Wasn't too much in it. It had some bye-bye knot stickers, I guess, for the sides, which is great. It came with a wig cap, and honestly, I was under the impression that they were going to include some other worry-free essentials like the wig band, but it didn't come. It said that it was going to come separately. I guess there was some confusion there because it said it was coming, but it didn't. I also watched a review with another girl on YouTube that had the same kind of delivery with Klaiyi hair, but theirs came with the box. So maybe my like worry-free essential was just like the wig cap, but the impression was I was going to get more than one product. That's my only gripe, and I wanted to make sure I got that out the way before I sing my praises. I definitely love the hair though. It is so soft. It was really easy to style. I just straightened it. It's a glueless wig. I was able to get some other things to style it, including a lace tint from Eben, which is in medium dark brown. I was also meant to get a lace melt, but at a lace melting spray. But when I went to the beauty supply store, I pointed at the lace melt spray and they gave me something else. I'm really grateful that this wig was a success as of right now. And on top of that, I did my makeup. Y'all know now, I'm a barefaced baddie and I cannot stand makeup. I don't like doing full faces. I don't like putting foundation on my skin. I cannot stand the takedown process either of makeup. I just want to be able to wash my face and go to sleep. But you know, we do things that we have to do and we do things that we don't want to do. So here I am with a full face of makeup and I feel beautiful. I feel great. At first I did feel like a clown, but I'm happy that I followed through and I kept it on my face and I didn't get mad. The combination really came together and I'm really proud that I completed it independently. So if you're someone like me who cannot stand to put any kind of product on your face that isn't a skincare product, do things that are out of your comfort zone every now and then and make it be for a reason. Like going out. I can't be barefaced going out anymore. I gotta look a little interesting, you know? I gotta feel a little pizzazz. So, my next bullet point is what exactly is leading me to my happiness? One may think it's higher income, but is it really? I don't think what's leading me to my happiness has anything to do with income. Yet, it's so pushed upon that once you get that big 6-figure job, 7-figure job, and you know you're financially independent and stable, then you'll be happy. I'm not saying that that's not true at all, but I think it can serve as a cover up for what truly does make you happy. And for me, I'm someone who is definitely seeking that aspiration of having financial independence, financial stability. Absolutely. I'm also someone who's very conscious of what truly does make me happy. And, you know, that's one, being able to provide for myself and for those around me that I care about consistently. but also just being able to slow down and enjoy what's around me as much as possible. And in the current spell of my life that I'm in right now, I've realized how hard it can be to do that when you're so tired and you're so fixated on getting that six-figure job or moving up on the corporate ladder. It can be really distracting. I think when it comes to this idea of what brings happiness, kind of reminds me of my question that I always come around to asking myself, which brings me into my next bullet point. Do I look at life too simply? And it's funny because my older brother is in town for the break with his wonderful fiance, and they were talking about, their wedding plans and whatnot, and how they essentially want it to be a smaller wedding and something that's a lot more intimate. And it kind of brought me to thinking about how I want my wedding to be, because I've always wanted, for Nigerian, and traditional Nigerian weddings are very flamboyant, very extravagant, very big, larger than life occasions. And I've really enjoyed and just admired the beauty of those weddings, but I can also see how it can be a lot. And it wasn't really much of a surprise when my brother wanted to have a smaller wedding, because he himself is a very simple person. And it's interesting, like when I was hearing and listening to him, kind of made me think about how I'm also a very simple person. And it made me wonder why I want or admire big, extravagant things like that, when I kind of have a similar mindset to him in terms of we ain't gotta do all that. And I just really think that living simply is living happily. And I feel like that's such an obvious thing, but people still live very complicated, over the top lives, and they're aspiring for things that I don't think really matter to them. Truly, once you are able to provide and do things for people that you care about consistently, and you've accomplished this and you've accomplished that in your career and relationships, whatever the case is, did that big celebration, was that really necessary? Was that big expenditure really necessary? I get it, and then I don't get it. Even just admiring the little things, or maximizing time where you're not doing a lot. Even when I think about common ways that people commemorate special days, like, the weddings, your birthday, it's always like this big dinner, having a party because you're turning a certain age. And I see the necessity for it. I do. I promise I do. But I also see the opportunity to just live simply. And if you live a simple life on a daily basis, that's one thing. And I think there are different ways of thinking of living simply. You can think of, sustainable living that is simple. When it comes to your diet, when it comes to exercise, when it comes to, the activities you engage in, taking time off social media, those types of things can contribute to a simple or simply living life, a simple living life. But I think what I'm talking about is just being able to slow down, not worrying, not necessarily living small, but acknowledging how much you can do with less and how happy you can be with less. I think that's just the simple part of simple living that I'm thinking about. I don't know when I'm going to post this video, but I'm turning 25 on the 2nd of January. And all I want to do is go get a full body massage, take a walk, and take a nap and read something. That's it. What's funny about this whole simply living, or do I look at life too simply, is the thought in the back of my head saying, is that all you're going to do? That's it? You don't want to do something else? No, I don't. What's wrong with that? What is wrong with doing something so mundane? This is something so wonderful about doing the simplest things. There's an article that studied 1,000 New Zealanders or so, and it was talking about income being associated with happiness. And it was actually turning out to be the opposite, in that people with lower incomes, they have a higher quality of life, which kind of ties into what I was saying, because when it comes to earning, for me, this is kind of how I thought about it before I came across this article. When you're so bent on earning more money and climbing up that corporate ladder, I feel like the stress builds with you because you're trying harder and harder to earn more and stay up there. And you have all this stress and all this pressure about making sure you don't get outdone by someone else, by a coworker, by a new hire, whatever the case is. And of course, this is dependent on the field you're in, because I know that there are less competitive fields. There are fields where everyone is working up together versus one person taking the position of another. But it can get toxic. It can easily get toxic in those corporate scenarios. So, of course, your happiness is going to be in peril if that is what you've told your brain is going to make you a happier person. Telling your brain that your income is going to make you happier, it seems like you're telling yourself a lie. I think the first step is, that higher income and that financial stability to be able to focus on really what is going to make you happier and what is going to make you feel more fulfilled. Sometimes people stop at the money part. I know that it's really easy to think that because sometimes it's so hard to think about what really does make you happy. I think that's been a constant running theme for me because I feel like what I think is going to make me happy changes a lot. So it's hard to pinpoint, and then I just want to focus on, well, I know that if I earn more money, I'll be good. But that's not all it is. And, God sees how I process things, how I cycle through different thoughts and just different ideas about certain things like this topic, like simplicity of living and where money really does fall in terms of your, pursuit of happiness. I don't think it's bad to not know. I think it's just important to know that there is just no way that money is all you need to be happy. It's like a small aspect of your simple life. You use money to pay for things that you need. The main point of simple living is to really take in those moments that allow you to appreciate the life you're in. Quick year recap. Being able to embrace my cluelessness has not been a walk in the park. Graduating from college, being in the current job I'm in, coming towards the end of my master's program, all these things tied together have made me focused, more experienced, and clueless at the same time. And I think being able to navigate that feeling of uncertainty, but also anticipation without the knowing of what comes next is a very real feeling that I think with time and practice and reps becomes a little more manageable, because I think life is supposed to be full of anticipation and wonder. And we have a Father in heaven who knows how it all ends and is guiding us through it step by step, and being able to really allow Him to spearhead my journey and my process has been something that I've learned to resort to sooner rather than later. I think I just allow myself to get frustrated a lot. And as this year has gone on, I've become a little less frustrated and a little more peaceful and silenced the noise, as I said in my other video, and kind of just taken a step back from things to really just focus on what He's doing with me, not what He's doing with other people. I'm always happy for people. I'm always really excited to see what people are doing and how they're successful and how they're moving forward and doing things that they care about, that they love, that fulfills them. But honestly, sometimes, especially on social media, it can be really easy to get so sucked into what other people are doing that you think that you're behind or you're underserving yourself in some way. And it really is it's a current work in progress. It's definitely something I'm battling to this day as I'm making this video, and I still have to take time from social media and just seeing what people are doing. It could be like the smallest thing, and it makes me have this feeling in my chest, like I'm gutted for some reason. I don't know, like it's just, dang, like what am I doing? But I am doing something, but seeing someone else and what they're doing is making me feel like I'm not doing anything, even though I am. it just doesn't look like them. So just being out of social media has helped me realize and focus and see what God is doing for me, with me, and how beautiful it is, because it's my story and my story alone. And I have to be around and present. So it's definitely been a year of stepping back and looking up and forward and not down at my phone too much. It's been great. And it's been filled with a lot more prayer and reflection and just learning. Honestly, I love learning outside of school. I appreciate everything I've learned in school, but I feel like I'm more present in my learning when it's on my terms. And I'm just able to learn about much more things, especially when it comes to my faith, when it comes to apologetics, which I've been really interested in this year, current events, even my profession, what I'm going into in clinical research management. But I'm really excited to just be a full-time life learner and just experiment and learn and teach. I've done a lot of teaching this year in my current job too, and learning. And I think I'm just someone who thrives better outside of school. Being bolder, this YouTube channel is a testament to my boldness and being more confident. I'm proud of Jenny. I'm proud of Jen. Miss Jen, simply Jen. Very proud of what I've been able to do and what I'm still going to do. I believe and I trust and I thank God for where He's putting me, where He's placing me, the vacancies He's made for me going into this new year. And I thank Him and I praise Him for all the vacancies and all the placements He is putting you in this year too. We're doing great. You're doing great. I'm doing great. And we're going to continue to do great. I'm enjoying this wig and I'm probably going to get another one. I don't know from who, but I sense a new Jenny, a higher Jenny coming in soon. Coming in soon. Thank you so much for tapping into this video. Y'all stay blessed, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.